Welcome back to your hour. Joining us now is Kathy Adkins. She is an RN and a dementia specialist, which that's a demanding job, I'll bet.
It is. It is. I only work with 50 families at a time because I'm a one-woman show. So there's great demand, and I'm very careful about the people I work with that I can actually give them value, or I do not work with them. And I do a lot of referrals to other places. But it's very rewarding, and it's very challenging sometimes.
So you kind of have to keep in your head a lot of resources that you can refer people to in case it's something that either you can't help them with or don't have time.
Right, and I have entered into recently to care placement, which means that I have gone out to all the care facilities in Wichita, and I've done an interview with each care facility. So when I sit down with my clients, I can say, well, this one's on this side of town, and it ranges this, and these are some of the services, and this is what I think will fit you best. And then I go with them to the appointment to see. So, yeah, it's
And then
quite,
you say, and I wouldn't go here for anything.
there are places, there are services I will not recommend. I just do not. I want people making the right choice the first time.
Yeah.
Because it's expensive to make the right choice the second, third, or fourth time.
Sure. Well, and it's, if you move somebody into a care facility and then you wind up having to move them again because of financial reasons or personality, whatever, it's also a traumatic experience at that age to be moving around.
It is, and no one likes that. And the scary thing that I found out when I decided to go into adding this service to my business was that most care facilities buy you as a client. You go to a service, there's one on TV all the time that's mentioned, but you go to a service and the care facility pays them for you. So they buy you into the facility, and
That's different.
but people don't know that.
Yeah.
And Mary Halsey and I were talking, and we're friends too, and she said, well, that's very tempting because the people don't have to pay anything up front. I said, it is, but you're going to pay a whole lot after that, and you're going to go through a whole lot that you're not going to have to go through if I work with you, because I'm your advocate. I'm working on your behalf, not on that company's behalf.
Right.
So it's just a matter of looking at things a little bit differently.
So you want to talk about loneliness today.
Yes, there's many studies out there about loneliness and its impact on dementia and increasing dementia through loneliness. And when you look around, we're such a compartmentalized society. We often don't know who is our neighbor, and who lives across the street. And we used to be able to go borrow a cup of sugar, and now you don't even know if you can knock on someone's door safely. But being alone and loneliness is so detrimental when you're starting to develop cognitive problems. The person with cognitive problems becomes afraid because they understand they're not clicking quite right.
Right.
And they don't want that to be others to observe that. It makes them very vulnerable. But what I want to encourage people to do is we have so many senior centers throughout Wichita, Derby, Hayesville, you name it. Is to find a way to get out to some of those senior centers. Interaction with others is what keeps your brain stimulated and moving and thinking and new ideas coming in. And that's what your brain desperately needs at that time.
And a lot of those senior centers have activities.
They all have activities, they have lunches, they have all kinds of things that is good for us. We are a social animal, and we need to be out talking to other social animals and growing and progressing. Otherwise, our brain literally just starts shrinking because it's not, the pathways, the neurons in the brain are not being used, and it just starts shrinking down.
Which makes the dementia even worse.
Makes it worse, faster. There are studies out there that if we were doing things that make our brain work harder, games, puzzles, toys, something you haven't done before that makes you uncomfortable, that will slow the progress as much as any of the medications, and we have nothing that cures dementia at this
Right.
point. And I don't know that that's going to be on the near horizon. So people need to look at what they can do today. You can order an activity book for cognitive impaired people and let them work on that at home. You can get it yourself, but picking up the New York Times crossword puzzle page and staring at it's not going to do any good. I just spoke with one of the clients that said, well, I offered him that puzzle book, and well, what is he supposed to do with it?
Yeah.
He's lost from there. If you sit
Yeah.
down and work with him, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's always such a pleasure having you here, and it always goes so fast.
Thank you.
But we'll have you back.
Thank you so much.